sing. Are you ready?
You are listening to And Stuff
on YouTube,
iTunes,
Spotify,
Anchor, and other podcast venues.
How's it going, everybody? Daddy here. Along with Damian. How's it going, Damian?
I'm doing very well.
Very,
How are
very
you?
well. Yes, very, very good. I am doing very, very good.
Very good today.
Yes, how are you doing?
Doing fantabulous, my friend.
May that fleas of 1,000 camels nest neatly in your armpit.
That is the best luck I have been given all week. Thank you.
Okay, we gotta stop with that. So this episode of And Stuff with Donnie D is brought to you by Tozo. Tozo sponsored me to. They sent me some earbuds. They go over the ears instead of in your ears, so you don't have all that waxy buildup and yucky stuff dripping out of your ears, and then it gets stuck in there and you can't get it out. Can't charge battery because your head won't fit in the case.
Stuck in there. It's
So
all solidified.
thank you, Tozo. I'll be doing the commercial. I've already started the commercial for them, and it's kind of cool. Just a little old guy with a little sponsorship. That's cool. And I've got a couple other ones that are actually sending me emails quite a bit.
Nice.
Yes.
It's a pretty good product, too. I tried them on just a minute ago, and they sound really good. And they don't hurt the ear. I use those Apple AirPods. And after probably like a few minutes of wearing them, they start to hurt. But yeah, like you mentioned, those just sit right on top. It sounds good.
Yep. Bluetooth enabled and all that kind of stuff. So, like I said, I've had I've had like 20 other people that want to sponsor me. But 3 of them really caught my attention. A couple of tool companies.
Yeah.
And
That's fitting for you.
yeah, and then some clothing thing. But I have to look at it a little bit better. And then a paint company, because I paint on canvases. So, but yeah, there's tons of them. So I've narrowed them down because I'm not going to put my name on just about anything. And I can't believe a little guy like me is getting people saying, hey, man. However, the reason I think I was telling you is I was on one particular website in my genre. I am ranked number 3 in all of the podcasts out there that they've reviewed. For the content and the wit and all that kind of stuff. So I'm pretty proud of that.
That's awesome, dude. Congratulations.
Oh, thank you.
Still a hard thing to do, get up to top 3.
Just to be mentioned is an
hard.
honor, but to be top 3, wow, I'm really, really proud. And so, yeah, there
Super.
it is there.
Super excited to see what you continue to put out and do and these other products that you're talking about. Because I know you're a quality guy.
Oh,
so you like quality products.
That's right.
Hence these and the other stuff that you're looking at. So it's pretty cool.
Tozo. They're probably going to cancel me now.
Yeah, it's like, take them off.
Yeah,
Get rid of them now.
Get rid of them. It's becoming summer out here in Southern California. And it's getting hot and yucky, and I don't like it.
Yeah. Take me back to the cool weather.
Yes.
And heating from like a heater, not just the outside sun.
Yeah.
It's so dry, and hot.
Yep.
Oh, and sweaty.
Yeah, well, it was so hot the other day I saw one of our coworkers smile and her makeup just cracked and fell off her face.
It didn't even melt.
Oh, it just
How
cracked
dry
and
it
fell
was.
off. Yeah. You ever see those the pictures of the desert with all the cracks in it?
Yeah.
It was her. She smiled, and I'm telling you.
Maybe she was molting.
Molten could be.
I'm just kidding.
So, well, it's a good thing we have jobs.
Yes. Thankful.
Yeah, we are working. We are gainfully employed. However, there are a lot of people out there that are still not working, which brings me to one of the topics that I have for today, and that's the job market. The job market right now is they're saying that they put so many jobs, on, they created so many jobs, but in essence, I don't believe that. I don't care who the president is, to be honest with you, because there were so many jobs and so many businesses that went out of business, or, people got canned because of this COVID stuff. And COVID keeps rearing its ugly head, not by actually being around, although they do say that there is a strain of it. But it's the excuses are still coming from COVID. Like, I ordered something. Oh, I'm sorry. Since COVID ended when?
23.
Something like that. And we're still feeling the
23.
effects. Baloney.
It's an excuse.
Yep. And why is everything so expensive? Oh, you know what? COVID really, really did a number on us. Baloney. Maybe back then there was a typical supply and demand because of it. But now there shouldn't be all that supply and demand issue anymore, because COVID's been over for a year and a half. So
It's just an excuse at this point.
yeah, now they're making money. They were able to make that money, maybe double the profit, and they don't want to get rid of that double the profit. So they're continuing that narrative. Oh, COVID. We're far out though, COVID. Jeez.
They're trying to push it as long as they can, milk it,
Yep.
ride it out.
Yep. And so me as a manager at my job, I'm trying to hire people, and people don't want to work. They just don't. I literally got 64 applicants for a job, and I've called every single one but one because their number was disconnected, and 2 people showed up for interviews. They all confirmed, yeah, I'm going to be there. I gave them a time. I gave them a place. I told them, you don't have to get dressed up. Now, that's another thing. People don't dress up for job interviews anymore. When I went for my job, I went in a suit and a tie and made sure that I was good looking. Well, that was a long time ago when I was good looking, but it's just people now show up in sneakers and shorts with a ripped T-shirt.
Just get out of bed.
Just got out of bed, yet with the hair. It was all whacked out. Looks like one of those animes from
From Japan, and one crust in their eye.
Yep. Yeah, toothpaste dripping down their thing. And then they're always late. Sorry, I'm late. And you want a job. But I'm told by my higher ups, wait, that's generation. That's the generation that we're dealing with now. And that's your generation. Sorry, but you're a lot more responsible than most people your age. And it's sad.
It is, because even I have a brother-in-law who's 18, or he just graduated, and even kids his age group, some they'll go off to college, do their thing, some will go off and get jobs. But it seems like a lot too much what you're saying. They don't want to work. They want it given to them. Mm-hmm. They want a handout. They want it to just come easy and fall in their lap. And I'm gonna just go out there and make a bunch of money without lifting a finger for it. Or maybe I'll lift a finger, 2 days out of the week, and the rest will just come easy. There's so much expectation that they have, that they're owed something when they're not. And I believe that parents too should be instilling in their kids that a good work ethic. good
Yep.
punctuality, selling yourself when you go to a job, because that's what you have to do. That's why you dress presentable, show up on time, early for that matter. If you're not early, you're late. And selling yourself, saying, "Hey, I really want to be here. I really want to do this. I'll show up and I'll put out the work, and I'll do what I have to do." And it goes a long way, but can't always blame fully the kids. You know, some parents are just not teaching that to them because they're so wrapped up in other things.
Yeah, but what is it? I mean, so the parents are, I don't know. The parents do their little thing where, oh, don't worry, you just stay home, so I don't have to. I think a lot of it is selfishness because this way they don't have to get another car. They don't have to put more, and it's multifaceted because it's they don't want to get the car because they can't afford another car and they can't afford another insurance and more gasoline at $5 or $6 a gallon. And it's just, and they've given this mentality to the kids. And I've met a lot of cool kids. Like I said, I used to coach, and he's a prime example of good, old-fashioned ethics, pleasure to work with, and it's just sad because you're a dying breed. My son is your age, and he goes to work every single day or night. He works nights, and he busts his ass. And when you get that paycheck, you go, oh, look at that. But these kids, they're like, what they, when I interview them, it's like, okay, so what hours are you available? Well, let's see. Well, what days can I have off? Yep, I'm telling you. What days can I have off? Well, let's go back. What days can you work? Any day. Okay. So you hire them. They're like, oh, by the way, I forgot to tell you. I need this day off. For what? Because I don't normally like working on Thursdays. Oh, why is that? I just, Thursdays are bad days for me. I've heard that. I've literally heard that.
So I know you're interviewing right how what's the age range?
18 to,
I guess we're hearing that specific thing. 18
to whatever, because, well, actually, I think it's 18. They kind of want people 21 and over, but, if I get a responsible 18-year-old, they want a handout, I'm going to hand them a rake. I'm going to hand them a shovel. That's going to be their handout. And I had a guy, he lasted, I think, like 8 minutes. And I fired him.
Wow.
8 minutes. Because he didn't want to do a certain thing. And he was also the guy that drove through the gate and just smacked it. And so when I went over, he goes, first of all, I don't want to pick up trash. And secondly, so what, I hit the gate. And I'm like, you can go home now. You're fired. And he goes, you can't fire me. You didn't write me up 3 times. I'm like, well, you're still on probation, so you just started today. And he got pissed, and he spun his truck around and flew out of there. And then he called me like for 3 weeks saying, where's my paycheck? Where's my paycheck?
For 8 minutes? For
8 minutes. Then literally 8 minutes. So I had HR call him, and they sent him an 8-minute check. I don't know what it boiled down to, like $1.18 or something.
Bag of pennies.
Yep. But that's the truth.
That's crazy. And it's sad because there's a lot of places that do need work and good help and reliable people, and it's hard to find. It's hard to come by. And I pray diligently for this country, that especially for the younger generation and the youth, for them to have a stronger work ethic. Excuse me. I was just talking with my wife about this yesterday, that it seems like a lot of people nowadays are, let me fix what I want for myself rather than what can I fix now that's going to help bring up the youth. Because they're going to be the ones that's going to be leading and taking care of this country. I that's me personally. You could disagree, but I feel like we should be focusing on how can we better our youth and our young people, so that when they get into a position where they can start fixing the country, helping out in America, they have good morals and a good fundamental foundation to stand on.
Okay, so that's a good thing. So you guys are watching on YouTube or Spotify or whatever. I want you to make a comment. I want you to give me a comment of if you think that we're full of beans or if we're telling the truth. I want to know how you feel. I want to know if you have the same experience in your lifetime or in your little circle. And let me know. I mean, there's no right or wrong. This is what we have acknowledged and experienced in our day-to-day. So what have you done? And we'll be back after this.
Sit back and enjoy the newest episode of And Stuff with Donnie D. Here we go.
And we are back. How's it going?
Going.
Are you having fun yet?
I had fun since the moment I sat in this chair.
Oh, cool. I'm glad. So just to clarify things, Damian used to be in my department, and then he moved on to bigger and better things. But he knows how I run my department. I'm not rough. I'm fair. And I don't want to hear a bunch of BS. So I'm just like, I don't know how you would explain it.
It's like a straight shooter.
Yeah, I'm a straight shooter.
Straight shooter in a very, very professional way, and expects what you're handed to get done very fairly. But also at the same time, it's not here, go do this, and you don't know how to do it, and if you're in trouble now because you can get it done. From experience, Don loves to teach. If you don't know something, that's probably the best outcome for you, because he's like, let's go do it.
Yep.
I'll show you.
Yep.
So.
And I love doing the work, too.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely love doing the work.
Hands-on.
Yep.
Not a office jockey.
I'll tell you, when I teach somebody something, I don't expect them to get it the first time, but then after a couple of times of them doing it and they do it, I get such a satisfactory feeling in my heart that, now I've taught you to do it. And then a little tiny bit of selfishness comes in too, because now my teaching is going to go through you, and you're going to maybe teach somebody else. And I live forever that way. You know what I mean? I don't know if that's selfishness, but...
No, I think you just take joy in teaching others.
Yep.
Everybody has spiritual gifts. I think one of yours for sure is the gift of teaching.
Oh, thank you.
For sure.
Well, I got to teach you how to give me $50 a week, just for no reason.
Sure.
So, well, let's move on, shall we?
Yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah, pass the $50, please.
But, the economy. We were kind of talking about the economy a little bit with this COVID stuff. And the economy is up 20 no, I take that back. Prices of things, of items are up 20.8%
It's crazy.
since COVID. And some things are up 46%, like eggs, like milk. Stuff that people need, they jack the price. Formula. There was a shortage on formula. And come on, talk about trying to keep people down in their little hole. It's disgusting. You have a little one, another one on the way. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Again.
Thank you.
And I don't know. I hope you win the lottery, dude, because it's not cheap raising kids. It wasn't cheap raising kids when I had little kids, but today it's 20.8% more.
It's expensive. I'll tell you. We went grocery shopping, just necessities: 2 loaves of bread, a thing of milk, 2, what is it, the 12 pack of eggs, and I think a thing of ham. And it was like close to $60.
Oh my goodness.
I'm like, what did we put in here?
Yeah.
And it's crazy.
Is it gold laden ham, or I mean?
It's not gonna make me live longer, I'll tell you that.
Nope.
With all this stuff in it.
Yeah, it's processed food. Can kill you.
Yeah. So it's sad and it hurts, and a lot of people are starving, man. And go back to jobs, but a lot of people don't want to work.
You know, that's why a lot of the kids your age and a little older are living with mom and dad, because they don't want to go out. They don't want to go and do their thing. And I don't want to make it sound like I'm bagging on the young people, because I'm not.
No, it's just the truth.
It's just like, I can't afford to live out there. And what parent, unless the kids are douchebags, are going to say, you get out?
Right. Unless they're taking advantage of their mom and dad.
Right.
And stuff.
Or just cutting up or doing things irresponsible, then, yeah, get out.
Yeah, even if you want to rent a place, you got to find 2-3 other people to rent with just so you can afford it.
And then there comes the fun. The parties on Friday, Saturday nights. And then this one's bringing the girlfriend over. And then the girlfriend doesn't, like the other guy. Oh, he looked at me. And then there creates, I'm glad my life is almost over.
Oh, my God.
I swear. I'm just going to go up to God and say, did I do okay?
I thought you were going to say, I'm glad that part of my life is
No,
over. But you said
no.
that you're glad your whole life's over.
Yeah. I'm like, I'm almost over the hill. And once you're over the hill, you pick up speed.
Yep.
So it's like, see ya.
I'm out.
Yep.
6 feet deep.
Yep. Just put the wheels on my coffin and let me ride it into the. So.
That's funny. It's making a lot of people fearful and worried about where their next meal's gonna come from, if they'll have enough to survive, and all this stuff, man. And everybody shouldn't have fear, worries. You should just remain calm, do what you have to do.
How can people help being worried when you see like stupid things in the news with the politicians? And by the way, 99% of the politicians give the rest of them a bad name.
So anybody that's already worrying, my best advice is just stop watching the news.
I watch it every day. I try to watch a couple of different channels so I get the full perspective, and then say you're all liars, and try to base my opinion on what I see out in the world and the information I get on the TV and in the newspaper and on the internet.
So let me ask you a question. Are you worried, though, after you watch the news? You watch the media, do you feel worried and fearful? Do you feel fearful?
So it's funny you should mention, sometimes I turn the news off because I get angry. I get angry that America has turned into, it's the greatest country in the world, but it's turning into a shithole. It really is. It's turning into, me. Screw everybody else. Or screw everybody else before they screw you. Instead of turning the other cheek, helping your brother or sister. Do what you can to help other people. No. It's, I was watching the news this morning, and I saw this guy got shot and that guy got shot, and there was a party. A party's supposed to be fun. And what happens? One person pulled out a gun because they didn't like the way this one was, and this one stabbed that one in the neck with a friggin' broken bottle, and that one is dead, and now this guy doesn't understand why he got shot, and this guy doesn't understand why he got arrested because he shot the guy. It's like, come on. Talk about, on TikTok, I made a couple of clips, and one of them says, basically, don't jam your stuff down my throat, because I don't want it, and just like I'm not trying to jam my stuff down your throat. If you're watching this stuff and you're partaking in it, it's because you want to, not because I've got a gun to your head and say you're gonna watch me. If you don't want to watch me, then don't. If you do want to watch me, send money. No. If you do want to watch me, I'm honored that you would actually spend your time to listen or to watch, and it makes me feel great, and thank you. But, I can imagine the good Lord up in heaven. He's got to be just shaking his head, going, what are you doing? What are you thinking? I laid everything out for you. I gave you everything. This is how you thank me. So that part I worry. But to answer your question, I know I went on a long tangent. Yeah. What do they call it? A rabbit hole?
The rabbit hole.
I didn't find the rabbit yet either. But to answer your question, I don't get worried. I just get angry. I just get perturbed because, if you go out of your bubble, stuff happens. If you stay within your people, your friends, your network, I guess, then everything's okay. But then again, then somebody else lets someone in that circle, and stuff happens. How about you?
I agree with that completely, and I don't want to go down a rabbit hole myself, but I feel like a lot of things went downhill is when this country did start to take God out of a lot of things.
Yep.
Or trying to. And really going away from that. When you're growing up, what your mom used to do to you when she wanted you out of the house? When you were young.
Oh, when I was young? She just told me to go outside.
I could ask anybody your age that, and their answer is pretty much the same thing.
However, I must say, very rarely did my mother ever say to go outside, because I wanted to be outside, so I just went outside. I would have to tell her where I was going, what time I'll be back.
Right.
The old adage, we didn't go home until the street lights came on. We better be home before the street lights come on. It's the truth.
Yeah. And we've gotten so far away from that because so many people are fearful now. If I let my kid out the house, I don't know if I'm going to see them. Yeah. I don't know if they're going to be able to come back, what's going to happen. Even when I grew up, my parents would say, go outside. I'd go outside and have fun. They'd leave the door unlocked. I'd come in and out when I wanted. It just had to be home before dark. And now you can't do that. And it's sad. It's tough because a lot of people live in fear. And you don't know who or what place you can trust. It's rough.
Yeah. And it's getting to the point now where another TikTok thing I said is don't let the devil influence you, and don't let him come into your life, and don't let him mess with you. I mean, there's enough for him to mess with every day, but when you actually do stupid things and he just laughs like heck because he knows he's got you, just don't let him. Don't let him. And one of the things that I tell people, and I tell you this sometimes too, is no matter what the situation is, even if you're having a horrible, horrible day, just tell God thank you. Because he's teaching you something. He's giving you some information. He's giving you some experience that you don't get it yet. But you're going to get it eventually. But even if it's a bad, horrible day, you get fired from your job, whatever it is, you say, God, thank you. There's a reason you sent me packing from that stupid job I had. Although I know I needed that job, I'm sure you've got something better for me. So thank you. Or you won the lottery. Of course, you're going to be thanks, God. But not as intently as you would if something bad or not so great happened. And a lot of people only use God as geez, God, if you can help me on this, I swear I'll never pick my nose again, or whatever,
That's funny, especially that you mentioned that, because when we're praying, when we're asking God for things, it's supposed to be within His will for our lives, because God has a perfect will for our lives. Sometimes people ask, why didn't I get an answer to that? Well, because it's not in God's will. If you're asking for things that are, you know, oh God, if you just give me, $5 more, I'll, I'll, I'll go to church every Sunday. That's not gonna happen. Now God is gonna, once you start going to church every Sunday, and being actually faithful and asking for things that are in your will, you'll see a lot more doors and opportunities open up for a lot more things.
Yep.
Drastically. Because when one door opens, another one closes, but there's two entities or beings that can open up those doors. It could either be the devil or God. That just depends on what you're feeding more, either your flesh or your spirit. Or you're trusting in more. If you're trusting yourself, you're trusting in your flesh, and if you think, I got this, no problem, you'll find yourself sorely on the ground.
I don't understand. I'm not any better than anybody else. I swear, I'm not.
Either one of them.
But I tell you, when I complete something or if I accomplish something, the first thought in my head is, thank you, Lord, I am nothing without you. And I mean it in my heart, and I can feel not a presence, but I feel something when I say that, and it's joy and all kinds of stuff, and it makes me feel so happy, because not only was I be able to accomplish it or make it or whatever, but I all through the whole time I'm like, God, just guide my hands, guide my brain, let me be able to use my talent that you gave me. And when it comes out great, it's just unbelievable feeling that, oh my gosh, even if it was the worst thing in the world that I did, I mean, it was like I painted something or built something and it fell apart 10 times. You know what? It's still the best feeling in the world, because without God's hands on my hands, or his ability coursing through mine, I would never even try. And it's so cool to just, like I said, to build something or make something or think of something or whatever, and just be able to see the outcome successful most times, and then just like, thank you, God. You don't know how I am nothing without you. Thank you so much for giving me the ability, the patience. Patience is most. Thank you. I can't believe this. This is absolute. And then I want to tell everybody, check this out. You got to check this out. And it's like, okay, what now? But it's not so much what I did. I'm trying to tell people, look what God gave me the ability to do. Look what God did through me.
Allowed you to do.
Yeah. Well, I think he made it through me.
Yeah.
And when he made it through me, I was able to gain the experience so that maybe next time I can do it again, only better. Because then once I'm doing things, I'm like, you know what? Last time I had this issue, but this time I know this issue. And so he lets you open your eyes and your brain so that you can now do it better and faster than you did before.
I completely agree with that. And God's a father. I think I told you this before too. It's like when your son paint a line on a piece of paper and say, I made this for you, Dad. It was the coolest thing. You felt so proud, even though it's just a line on a piece of paper or a rock with painted blue. You felt proud, like this is a work of art because it came from the son. Same with God. We're all of his children, and we do things for him. He takes delight in it. That's why you feel joy too, because you know that God is proud of you for doing it, and that he appreciates your hard work, and that he also was able to use you to do it too. But God's a father, a loving one.
When I made that grotto out in the back, that one, it was a taxing thing, and it was during the heat, this and that, and getting yelled at when, how come it's not done yet? Sorry, wifey. But it was a lot of hard work, and I work a full-time job, and I was working a lot of overtime and all that stuff. So it was on the weekends when it's 5,000 degrees out, and I really didn't want to do it. But the outcome was and I didn't see it. I mean, I built it well, and as I progressed and saw what was happening, I got choked up because it was like, I can't believe I'm doing this. This is turning out so gorgeous. I prayed to God to please guide my hands. He did, and in my opinion, it came out absolutely fantastic, and people love it. I just had a lady come over yesterday and looked at it, and she's, "Oh, this is so beautiful." So, I mean, I'm not trying to. But anyways, we'll be back after this.
If you don't like the real truth, buckle up, Buttercup. Because and Stuff with Donnie D is coming at ya. Here we go.
If you're enjoying this podcast, please leave us a review.
All right, and we're back.
We are back.
So, we keep talking about the economy, and part of it, part of the thing I wanted to see is I did some Googling.
Google.
Giggity.
Got all the truth on there.
Yeah,
Everything's
their
facts.
truth. Their truth. It's got to be true. I saw it on the internet.
Yep, that's right.
So I did some Googling and was trying to see, what the stock market would. Okay, we have the election coming up between Joe Biden and Donald Trump. So I Googled to see what the stock market would do, because a lot of us have 401ks. And so I wanted to see if there was a correlation between the election or an election and the stock market. And basically what it said was, if Biden was to be reelected, it wouldn't have any direct correlation on the stock market per se. Since Biden has been in office, the stock market has risen. When Trump was in office, the stock market rose. So how much of it is this and how much of it is that? It's risen because COVID's over, the world economy is getting back on the thing. But it did tell me if Trump got elected, there are 5 companies that are okay, so I'm not a financial planner. Just telling you what I read. It says ExxonMobil, Chevron, Chase, Wells Fargo, and First Solar. Those are the companies that are going to benefit the most for a Trump person because of deregulation of a lot of the laws. So, but then, I hear all kinds of stuff about, well, Trump this and Biden that and all that kind of stuff. And it's really conflicting. And I already know who I'm going to vote for. There's no doubt about who I'm going to vote for. But the mud coming from both sides, just say what you're going to do. Say what you can do, and see and tell people what you cannot do, and people will have more respect. Don't promise me something like, I don't know, Trump said something yesterday. He was in Las Vegas at 110-degree weather, and he said something to people in Vegas that, the tips, they won't be paying income tax on their tips. And I think that's kind of cool. And then I see him, on different interviews, and I think he needs to shut up. I really need to think he needs to say what he's going to do and stay with that, and then just shut up. Not get into, Dirty Joe, Creepy Joe, Sleepy Joe.
Sloppy Joe.
Yeah, and then you got the other guy. Folks. Yeah, Donald Trump, a convicted felon. Yeah, right. Where's my ice cream? Yeah.
Is he in Vegas? Trump or Joe Biden?
No, but I hear that they're, will he make it through the whole thing is like a line bet over there in Vegas. Will he trip again? On something. He is a trip.
Over his melted ice cream.
Yeah.
On the
I
floor.
slept. I fell off my bicycle eating ice cream. So politicians are politicians. They're going to talk when nobody wants them to, and they're not going to say what you want. They're going to say what you want them to hear, and then that's it. And then they get elected, and that's it. And it's like they got him on. They had him on trial, found him guilty of 34 counts of whatever stuff that had a statute of limitations. That they coupled it to something else so that they can bring a convicted felon, lying guy, Michael Cohen, to court so he could say, oh yeah, Trump did this and Trump did that and Trump said this and Trump said that, even though don't believe a friggin' word I have to say. And then they go, guilty on all counts. Although there's a report that a cousin of one of the jurors said that they were going to convict him even before the jury went out to for the verdict. So I don't know if this is the state of the political arena. Then you know what, I'm gonna get away from it, because I just that gives me more irritation than poison ivy on my crotch.
That's pretty irritating.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what.
Folks.
It's itchy.
Yeah. Brought to you by Tozo. There's no ice cream here, just earbuds. Yeah.
I heard they work better than his hearing aids.
What? Sorry. So, what do you think of all this political stuff?
I think I personally feel that Trump did not get a fair trial. And I think they have an agenda. Mm-hmm. I don't want to be a conspiracist or anything like that, but that's what I believe. Mm-hmm. That he didn't have a fair trial, couldn't say all the things that he wanted to say, and he was censored for a lot of it without getting too much into detail. But I do hope that he gets reelected for president again. Just during his term, there was no war. That's the first president, and I don't know how many, a lot, that there has been no wars. And then Biden comes in, and there's all kinds of wars all over the place. And, he did a lot of good for the country. There's certain things that I don't agree with that he did, but more often than not, I think he did a better job as far as us economically than what Biden has done. I really don't want another 4 years with him. Because then I'll just have to keep listening to Don keep saying, folks, for another 4 years, and I don't want to.
Hey, what's going on here? Hey.
I'd much rather hear a Donald Trump impression than a Joe Biden one.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm not a Biden fan. He's been in politics, 50 years, and he's done nothing.
Yeah.
Well, now that he's president, he's done plenty.
Mm-hmm.
Brought America down to the ground. And I really, really hope that God just has mercy on us all and says, there's a reason why he's in office. Let's it's part of God's plan. God has a he knows what he's doing, and he put him there for a reason. And I find that it's very interesting how no matter what they throw at Mr. Trump, he's like Teflon Don, nothing sticks. I think that the Supreme Court is they're gonna pardon him or reverse it on appeal or whatever. And I watch this stuff every day. I could tell you all kinds of stuff that I know about this stuff, and because I watch all the different channels, and I hear this, and I hear them dogging Trump, and I hear them dogging Biden, and I hear this and that one, and RFK Jr. this, and
Oh my gosh.
Vance this, and it's just, it's all a narrative. They're all fighting to get power because they're all crumbs. They all want, they have to have power because they want to protect their other worthless piece of junk people that are around them. It's just a pathetic thing.
So you don't think RFK Jr. is going to win?
I respect the fact that he comes from political royalty.
Mm-hmm.
His uncle was John F. Kennedy. His father was Robert Kennedy. Both murdered, probably by our government, because they didn't like the way things are going. And I worry that, the one side has really, really tried their best to keep other people out of the arena. And, I hear people like De Niro, saying all kinds of bad things about Trump. I don't know why he's got this Woody for Trump, but he hates him like with every ounce of every piece of his being. He hates Trump. But take it for what it's worth, though. Robert De Niro, great actor, but what does he do for a living? He pretends to be somebody else. That's his job. I'm going to pretend today to be a gangster, and then tomorrow, let's see, what could I do? I'll be a gangster tomorrow. And then, next week, maybe I'll be a funny gangster. And then, I don't know, watch out, fucker. Watch out, fucker.
That was my next point.
Yeah. And then it's, then he goes and plays a gangster. So, that's all he does.
Man of many hats.
You talking to me?
Just need to put that mole on your face
Oh,
and
yeah.
you look just like him.
Yeah, just draw it on with my pen.
Do it again.
Let's just take the eraser off of
There you go. Gee.
it. Oh, boy.
Gee.
Yeah.
But it's sad. It's sad, and I hope we get back on track.
Let's hope so. God's the way. God's gonna. So I tell my family this all the time. Either God's going to allow this to happen. Well, no. How do I put it? I put it whereas it's either going to get fixed because God wants it to be fixed, or it's not going to be fixed because God doesn't want it to get fixed. And if he doesn't want to get fixed, it's because it was in the scriptures, and this is the next step to the next whatever. If he fixes it, then maybe it's not time yet.
Right. Keep in mind, too, everybody watching, that yes, God is in control of everything, but there is, sin in the world, and people ask, why does this happen? Why does bad stuff happen? Why do people get murdered? Why do people get killed? It's because of free will. Because of everybody has choices and decisions that they get to make. Because when God created us, he wanted a relationship with us. You can't have a relationship with somebody if they're forced to love you or to like you or to do what you say. You'll know they really love you if they have the decision to either trust you and follow you and love and obey you, or if they choose to go the other direction and do the complete opposite.
Hey, I got a question for you. Something similar. It says in the Bible, it says, Mr. Damian is the Bible guy. He knows a lot of stuff about the Bible, so.
Not as much as some, but thank you. Most, actually. Not as much as most, but thank you.
So here's the question. Remember, it says, nobody comes through the Father but by me. Who said that?
Jesus.
Okay. So here's the question. What about all those people that lived before Jesus was alive? Are they going to be able to go to heaven? Because it says you can't go to the Father but through him. So what's going to happen to all those people?
So that's a great question. That is a fantastic question. So before Jesus came, there was the Old Testament, and there was a way of living, and a way of living for God, and showing him your love, and you had to sacrifice animals. The reason for that is because there was sin. The Bible says the wages of sin is death, and you need atonement. So before Jesus came along, God had specific instructions and rules and how to get to heaven. People are in heaven even before Jesus was here. It'd be unfair to do that because there was great prophets of God that he used, like Moses, Jonah, a whole bunch. A whole bunch of people. And it'd be unfair because, they never knew Jesus. Sorry, but they're in hell. No, they're still there up in heaven, and there's people in heaven who live diligently for the Lord, Job, that are there with him now. But when Jesus came and God sent him, he sent him for a specific reason, and that was so that the old way can pass away and we would have a new way of living.
Right. So like the eye for the eye and tooth for a tooth is now turned the other cheek.
Correct. Because God, before, he was more of a vengeful, vengeance for God. He still is that. Vengeance is mine, saith the Lord. But Jesus died for a new way to live. That's why people don't have to sacrifice goats or lambs anymore, because by us accepting Jesus wholeheartedly and truthfully, and he knows whose heart is in the right place, we're accepting our sins to be forgiven. That's why Jesus died on the cross, for all past, present, and future sins that we might commit. And it's not a get out of jail free card and woohoo, let me go live it up now that I'm saved. No, not at all. Just like the man on the cross as well, with whom there was two men. There was the one who was like, if you're God, get us down from here. Save us from this situation. If you're so the God, and that's representing the doubtful, people that doubt. And then you have the man on the other hand who was like, dude, this dude doesn't deserve to be up here.
We do.
We do. He does not. And all he says is just remember me. And he says you'll be in heaven. And when Jesus died, our sins were washed away. Those who accept in him, accept him as their Savior, after that comes obedience. You live obediently for the Lord and do the best you can. I think I've told you this before. You're not supposed to just be sinless, but just sin less. Do the best that you possibly can to live for Jesus and live for God. That was a long answer to your question.
That's okay. And with that, we'll be right back.
If you don't like the real truth, buckle up, Buttercup. Because and Stuff with Donnie D is coming at ya. Here we go.
Welcome to your favorite podcast.
And we're back.
We're back.
It's
amazing.
I have some advice.
Thank you.
For all those people out there that they want the rainbow. Remember, in order to get the rainbow, you have to live through the rain. There's always bad things that happen. Like we were talking about how I paint and how I have darkened skies in some of my paintings. But like Bob Ross says, you got to have the dark so you can see the light. Same with that little advice I gave you. You have to have the rain in order to get the rainbow. So Sure.
trademark that if no one has.
Philosophical.
Very philosophical and
Wow.
wise.
Folks,
Folks.
who said that?
Oh, it wasn't Biden.
Yeah.
We know that for
Biden,
sure.
Biden.
Biden.
Yep.
Because he can barely read.
Yeah.
He couldn't even read
Can
it
barely
to you.
walk.
Yeah. Poor senile man.
Yep. I don't know why they're trying to protect him. And his son. His son is going through court right now to see if he was a convicted felon with lying about his gun thing. He's saying I guess he lied on the application to get a gun.
Oh my.
Yeah, it says, have you or are you or have you been addicted to drugs? And he put no.
That's a lie.
That's a lie. Kind of sounds like Maury Povich, you know. Oh, that's a lie. And you're not the father. So, I don't know.
What a character, that guy.
You know. Let's see. We talked about the jobs. Oh yeah, the jobs. Let's go back to the jobs for a second.
Steve Jobs?
Yeah, Steve, he did.
Yeah, he is dead. Fishing up Davey.
That's right. Doing that dirt nap. So they're saying like all these jobs, you know, oh, we're adding jobs. No, I didn't finish my thought when we were talking about it before. Jobs are coming back because COVID is over. COVID is over because of them. China. You know how Donald Trump says, it was from China. Folks, somebody
like
say China.
I feel like I'm listening to Donald Trump and Joe Biden debate right now.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, I mean the way I know you are, but what am I? No, it's not. I'm the rubber. You're the glue. Whatever you say bounces off me and sticks to you. No, China. Ice cream. Oh boy, we're all in for some shit.
So
Oh.
what was that thought?
Thought. I forget.
Oh, jeez.
That's how good I am. I got a mind like a rusty steel trap. But I was going to say, okay, so I know what it was. The number one topic that people are worried about for the election is the border.
Mm.
So I guess Trump says that he secured the border and had the best border security there was that the company has ever known. And Biden's like, come on in, folks. Come
Yeah.
on.
Ice cream all
Ice cream. I'm buying. So, I mean, there's been millions and millions and millions of people coming in, and then Trump says he's going to deport them all. And Biden's like, no, bring them all in. Come on. Venezuela? No, that's New Jersey now. Yeah. So, what is your opinion? I mean, you are of the Hispanic culture. What is your whole take on this?
that like we're a free country and we should allow those to come in that do it the right way.
I agree.
There's rules and regulations in place for a reason. That's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. And there's nothing wrong with going about it the right way. And there's plenty of people that have done it and that do it. So you can't sit there and say, well, they just can't. They had no other choice. No, there's always a choice. There's always a choice. There's always a way of doing it. And, you know, you're way better off if you do it the right way.
Yep.
You know? And that's not just for Mexico and us, but for every other country, too, that's slipping their way in here.
I think they're flying. Like yesterday I watched the news and there was like 20 Egyptians that were walking over the border, and they're like, it was kind of, now you have to understand where I'm coming from. It was cool to see these people coming in. Well, I didn't like the way they came in, but as they were coming in, they said, Egypt no good, America all the way. That was cool. It was cool because other people think that this land of ours is their answer. And it is. But just do it the right way, please. So we were just talking about Damian's news. What is it?
Yes, my news is that I'm currently in the process of developing a podcast of my own.
Oh, cool.
Yes.
What's it going to be? What's it going to be called?
So, the name I've really decided on is Together in Christ. So it's going to be, as you can guess, biblical based. So going through the Bible, just a place to grow with others that want to know more about the Bible or do know and that I can learn from as well, because I don't know everything.
Cool.
So I'm super excited about that. The first part of it, or little series that I want to do, is start with the gospel. So Matthew, Mark, Luke, John. I think it's a great way to start, especially if someone doesn't know anything about Jesus or salvation or that faith is a great starting point.
Cool.
And to learn about it. And then after that, I'd like to go through the book of Proverbs, which is my favorite book about wisdom. So I'm super excited to announce that. I don't have released it yet, but I'm currently working on the first part of that.
Cool.
So I'm super stoked about it.
I'd like to be part of a little part of it, if you don't mind,
Be a
from
part
time
of
to
it
time.
as much as you want. I'd
Cool.
love to have you on.
Cool.
Go back and forth with you.
Yep. Hopefully we can clear up a lot of things that people are like, people have an idea about it, or they heard something,
Mm-hmm.
and you can correct it, or you can put the mystery to sleep. So that's cool.
All are welcome.
I'm so happy for you.
Thanks, Don. I'm happy to be here. I want to be on more of these. Get out when we can.
Yes.
It's been a while.
Yep.
Just
But we'll do it. We'll do it. Thank you very much.
Do it, Gus.
Thank you, Tozo. Thank you, other people that have written to me and asked me to be a they want to be my sponsor. So I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Cara, how you doing? Arias, Physical Therapy, how you doing? Who else? Jamie Hamilton. Who else? Roger. Chung. Who else?
That Ford dealership.
Ken Grody Ford. Hi, Ken Grody Ford.
Uh-oh.
You owe me money.
Uh-oh.
Who else? Yeah, maybe that'll be the topic. Another topic
Yes.
later
I'd like
about
to hear
the
about
money that they owe me.
That struck a nerve, so I'd like to hear about that.
Money they owe me.
Get on.
So I know it's only money, but it's what they owe me.
Yes.
Ken Grody Ford owes me money.
Oops. Sorry.
So, anyways, thank you very much. Hope to see you soon. I'm gonna try to get this edited as soon as possible, and yeah, we'll talk to you next time on And Stuff with Donnie D.
That's right. Like the youngsters say, don't forget to smash that like button. Leave yourself a comment. If you're not already, subscribe.
Yes, please. And seriously, I need to hear your comments, or
Yeah.
I could field them and go, oh, he don't like me.
He loves to feel bad about himself
Yeah.
on Thursdays, so.
Oh dear. It'd be Donnie Downer. Actually, I think I have.
I was gonna say, you have a button for that.
I do.
You have a button for sadness.
Yeah, what is it?
In depression.
All right, we'll catch you next time.
Thanks.